And we're going to go with the Pledge of Allegiance, and then followed by a moment of silence. Ms. Trahan, would you lead us in the pledge? Mr. Superintendent, do you want your opening comments now?
Board members, members of the public, tonight we are going to be recognizing several of the different individuals that I just want to first of all thank each of them for what they do for the Lafayette Parish school system, and again, congratulations to all. Secondly, to bring everyone to somewhat of a settling, is that today is the 5th anniversary to where 5 years ago, the governor of Louisiana shut down schools as far as COVID is concerned. We thought it was 2 weeks. It ended up being a lot longer. I'm here to say to you that Lafayette Parish School System, in this latest national report, is one of the only school districts. There are 6 school districts in the nation that has surpassed where it was as far as its scores from COVID moving forward. And Lafayette Parish is one of those districts. We are top here in the state of Louisiana, but we are also being recognized as being one of the 6% in the nation that has surpassed what it was academically. So congratulations to all of our teachers, our principals, our students. And all I can say is Lafayette Parish is doing some great things. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. We're going to go to the information items. We're going to go against protocol a little bit. All the board members will go down on the floor. I'll turn it over to Ms. Gardner, and she'll read them. And of very, very great importance, midway through the game, it's Acadiana 3, Lafayette High 3 in baseball.
Moving the whole table.
Where are we going now?
Can't beat him. Guess I'm the same.
Thank you. Miss Christie, who are we honoring first? Are we going in order? We're doing, are we doing students, principals first? Okay, great. This evening we want to honor some outstanding students, teachers, principal of the year, and support person of the year. It is a great honor to be honored, recognized at your school level, but they go through a process that end up here as naming the person of the year that represents the categories. We're going to start with the Student of the Year awards. We're going to go with Miss Avery Marks, who represents our elementary at Broadmoor Elementary School. If you'd like to come join us in the front. Carly Seymour at Youngsville Middle. And this evening we want to honor Walker Prejean, but he is not in the house because he is at the state. He is a State Student of the Year finalist who will be representing us at the state level. Congratulations for all your hard work. Okay, our next one is Teacher of the Year Awards. At our elementary, we have Sarah Bergeron, representing from Elio Judy's Elementary School. Brittany Hebert from Broussard Middle School. At the high level, Ms. Holly Gruffy from Lafayette High School. And the state honors a new Teacher of the Year, which is Miss Kelly Burns from La Rosen Preparatory. Miss Holly Gruffy is not with us this evening. We have over 2,200 teachers in our system, and we are down to 3. We're made the 4 finalists. Principal of the Year Award. At the elementary level, we have Miss Nancy Crater at Green Tea Elementary School. At the middle level, which is actually K to 8 in this instance, we represent Miss Amanda Guillory, representing Milton Elementary School. And at the high school level, we have Miss Bridget Malvo, Early College Academy. Someone actually hit the light switch right behind you on accident. It's okay, thank you. Congratulations to our Principal of the Year. Every day our school receives extra support that people don't realize that makes our school run. We have our Support Person of the Year at our school level. At the elementary level, we have Ms. Jolene Prejean from J. Wallace James Elementary School. Representing middle school, we have Desiree Thibodeau from Scott Middle School. And at the high school level, we have Miss Lana Roscoe from Early College Academy. Congratulations again to our Support Persons of the Year. Next, we're going to move on to sports. Representing Edgar Martin. This is the volleyball team who were the middle school district champs, led by their coach, Aaron Taylor. Congratulations. Next, we're going to continue on the middle school championship path. We're going to honor middle school football champions from LJ Alamo under the coach of Skylar Abear. There's a lot of you. You're going to make 2 and 3 rows. Come on over. All right, the next group, come on over. Keep coming. No, the next row, come on over. The last group, come on in, and y'all just sit flat on the floor if you can, so the people behind you can be seen. Coach, make sure you climb over here. All right, everybody smile for the cameras.
1, 2, 3.
Congratulations, gentlemen. We're going to head out here to the right. Next, we will be celebrating middle school district championship for girls basketball. It is Judy's Middle Girls, led by Coach Addie Cassidy. Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me announce that they are back-to-back girls basketball champions. They deserve that extra honor. All right, ladies, everyone look at the photographer. 1, 2, 3, smile. Congratulations, young ladies. Next on our middle school championship journey is celebrating the boys basketball team from Broussard Middle. Under the coaching of Mr. Jeremy Whittington. Come on down. Coach Whittington had left our district for a little bit and came back, and we're so glad to have him back here. We have one more group, I believe. We have the art winners. Hang tight real quick. Ms. LaFleur went to get the students and Ms. Guidry. Thank you, parents, for coming out this evening. Just 1 second. We're waiting on the winter art competition winners. Ms. Pageant Guidry has just entered.
Okay, I would like to introduce to you the winners for the Winter Arts Competition. Our first place winner is Charlie Culbeth for kindergarten through 5th grade. He is not in attendance. He is the gumbo weather, and he's from, oh, Charlie is? She showed up? Oh, okay. Because we were looking for her. Okay, sorry. And that is from Milton Elementary. The teacher is David Flores. Second place is Harley Jefferson, the Bayou Band. She's from J. Wallace James. The teacher is Missy Segura. And third place is Ariel Fisher, Let the Good Times Roll, and she's from J.W. Falk, and the teacher is Morgan Amore. Our 6th through 8th grade, our first place winner is Nicole Blanco Garcia. She is not in attendance. It's the Louisiana State of Festivals, and she's from Edgar Martin Middle. Teacher, Ms. Jarreau. Second place is Alexis Gutierrez, Sunrise on the Bayou, LJ Alamon Middle, teacher Miss Wedlake, and she's not in attendance. Our third place winner is Frances Martiaga. She is from Scott Middle. It's Louisiana Kitchen, and her teacher is Mrs. Desatel. Our high school winners, Harper Sam Falk, Crawfish Ball, Lafayette High School. Teacher, Juanita Landry. She is not in attendance. Our second place is Jessica Del Bosque, Gumbo Season, David Thibodeau STEM Magnet Academy. Teacher, Miss Shelley Bro. And our third place is Madeline Akins, Sounds of the South, Como High School. Teacher, Kelly Cormier. And our last one is our Art Expo poster winner, which we have the Art Expo this Saturday. Cohen Longlinay, Crawfish Ball on the Swamp, Marshall B.O. Elementary School, Miss Powers.
Congratulations to all our art winners.
Give us
Like former President Tommy Angel used to say, if you have another meeting to go to, you may leave now if you want. It is germane to the topic. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This is what makes a board member fun. Can someone turn up the AC? It's getting a little warm in here. And I'm not really speaking for myself, but my wife's over there fanning herself like,
Mr. LaChile, while they're moving the table, I did just want to remind everyone that we do have our art expo this weekend downtown. Because of the weather, we have moved it to 12 noon. All of the students will be inside because of the weather, but we have moved it to 12 noon, and it is this Saturday.
No, yeah, now, yeah.
do you need to read something, 2.7?
Say something, Mr. President, about the art?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was 2.1 and 2.6. 2.7 is finance. Notice of public meeting to announce intent to call for an election to authorize renewal of continuation of an ad valorem tax. Ms. Mason, you'll read the attachment?
Yes. All right. Note the announcement of the public meeting, correct? Sorry.
Yes.
Okay, notice is hereby given that at its meeting to be held on Thursday, April 10th, 2025 at 5 p.m. at its regular meeting place, the boardroom, 202 Rue Iberville, Lafayette, Louisiana, the Parish School Board of the Parish of Lafayette, State of Louisiana, plans to consider adopting a resolution ordering and calling an election to be held in Consolidated School District Number 1 of the Parish of Lafayette, State of Louisiana, to authorize the continuation of an ad valorem tax therein.
Thank you, Ms. Mason. And that is all we had to do was read the resolution. We will now move on to our consent agenda. During the consent agenda, I will read each and every item. If a board member wants one pulled, we'll pull it. I want to remind my board members, we do not have to pull a resolution to read it. We can vote it in globo. If you have a comment in globo, please let us know which agenda item it is and speak for or against. It is not question or answer. It'll be for or against. And I'll start with 3.1, academics, discussion and or action concerning resolution 03-025-2124, youth art movement month. 3.2, discussion and or action concerning resolution 03-025-2121, school social worker week. 3.3 is child nutrition services, discussion and or action concerning resolution 03-025-2123, National School Breakfast Week and National Nutrition Month. 3.4 is facilities, discussion and or action to keep Edward J. Sam Accelerated School of Lafayette at the current location of the W.D. Smith Career Center. Facilities, discussion and or action to use contingency funds and relocated funds for improvements to facilities. 3.6 is finance, discussion and or action concerning the 2024 annual comprehensive financial report.
Pull it.
Write that down for me, please, Mr. Superintendent. 3.7, discussion and or action concerning the February budget to actual revisions for fiscal year 24-25. 3.8, facilities, discussion or actions to use committed school sites, additions, renovations funds to fund design fees for wing additions at Acadiana High, Judy's Middle, and LJ Alamo. 3.9, finance, discussion or action concerning a lease on section 16 land in Dusson for KRVS radio tower with the University of Louisiana at Lafayette. 3.10 is technology, discussion or action to use reallocated funds to purchase 2 vans. 3.11 is the superintendent, discussion or action concerning the minutes of February 20th, 2025. And 3.12 is approval of all action items. We've only had one item pulled. I'll entertain a motion to approve all items not pulled.
Mr. President, I make a motion that we approve all items in the consent agenda not pulled.
We have a motion by Mr. Bergeron, seconded by Mr. Edmond. What I'll do, I'll go ahead and open the floor up for public comment. When we get to board member comment, if you'd like to read a resolution, please let me know. Do we have any public comment? Any board member comment? Mr. DeZarmo has a resolution he'd like to read.
Resolution 03-025-2121 is National School Social Work Week, sponsored by the School Social Work Association of America. Whereas the importance of the school social work through the inclusions of school social work programs and services has been recognized in the Elementary and Secondary Education Act of 1965 and the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act included. Whereas school social workers are exceptionally skilled in providing services to students who face serious challenges to school success, including disability, poverty, discrimination, abuse, neglect, mental illness, homelessness, bullying, familial stressors, and the other barriers to learning. Whereas school social work are needed more now than any time in recent memory, as more students are struggling with the mental and behavioral health disorders, with nearly 1 in 6 children from ages 2 to 8 having a diagnosed mental, behavioral, or developmental disorder. Whereas individuals who wish to access community mental health services often find such services unavailable, inaccessible, or inadequate. Whereas school-based mental health programs are critical to early identification of an early intervention for mental health problems. Whereas school social workers, being licensed mental health professionals in schools in the United States, provide necessary assessment, interventions, counseling, family outreach, and community referrals. Whereas school social workers maintain knowledge of school culture and school climate, which are necessary for responsible school safety planning. Whereas fewer than 1 in 5 children in need of mental health services actually receive these services, and research indicates that the school mental health programs improve educational outcomes by decreasing absences, dropout rates, and discipline referrals, while improving academic achievement. Whereas school social workers serve as vital members of our school's education team, playing a central role in creating partnerships between the home, school, and community to ensure students' academic success. Whereas the celebration of School Social Work Week during the week beginning March 10th, 2025 highlights the vital role social work play in the lives of students in the state of Louisiana. Be it resolved that the Louisiana Parish School Board does hereby designate the week of March 10th through the 14th, 2025 as National School Social Work Week.
Thank you, Mr. DeZarmo. Any other public comment, any other board member comment on any item not pulled?
I would like to read the resolution of 3.1.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, so since I am an artist, I take great pride in reading this. It is the Youth Art Month. Resolution number 03-025-2124, a resolution supporting Youth Art Month. Whereas art education contributes powerful educational benefits to all elementary, middle, and secondary students. And whereas art education develops students' creative problem-solving and critical thinking abilities. And whereas as art education teaches sensitivity to beauty, order, and other expressive qualities. And whereas art education gives students a deeper understanding of multicultural values and beliefs. Whereas art education reinforces and brings to life what students learn in other subjects. And whereas art education interrelates student learning in art production, art history, art criticism, and aesthetics. And whereas support should be given to art teachers as they attempt to strengthen art education in their schools and communities. And whereas our national leaders have acknowledged the necessity of including arts experiences in all students' education, and now therefore be it resolved that the Lafayette Parish School Board proclaims the month of March to be Youth Art Month. And be it further resolved that the Lafayette Parish School Board strongly encourages all members of our community to join with it in personally expressing appreciation to our teachers for their dedication and devotion to their work.
Thank you, Ms. Mason. Any other board member comment? Ms. Trahan?
I'd like You're good. You're good. I'd like to read the resolution for 3.3. Resolution 03-025-2123, National School Breakfast Week and National Nutrition Month. Whereas School Breakfast Week combined with National Nutrition Month has admirably served our nation for more than 50 years, And whereas the school breakfast program was permanently established in 1975, and whereas all school nutrition programs are dedicated to the health and well-being of our nation's children, and whereas food is the substance by which life is sustained and learning abilities in and out of the classroom increase sustainability substantially, and whereas the type, quality, and amount of food that individuals consume each day plays a vital role in their overall health and physical fitness, and whereas there is evidence for continuing nutrition education and a wide-scale effort to enhance good eating practices, and whereas there is a need for awareness of the value of all school nutrition programs, now therefore be it resolved that the Lafayette Parish School Board does hereby support the month of March as National Nutrition Month and National School Breakfast Week, March 3rd through the 7th, 2025, and encourages our administrators, teachers, support staff, parents, students, and all other community members to join the campaign and become aware and concerned about their children's and their own nutritional habits in hope of achieving a more helpful citizenry for today and the future.
Thank you, Ms. Trahan. Mr. Bajeron.
Thank you so much. I apologize.
Not a problem, sir.
All right, Mr. Touchette, 3.4 discussion about the E.J. Sam Accelerated School moving it back to the Career Center. Can you go over a little bit around the logic behind moving it back,
Yeah,
or
so-
keeping it where it is? Sorry.
So board members, back in November, when we did the district optimization, as you recall, there was a very lengthy meeting in which lots of different things took place there. And there was a late substitute motion to take E.J. Sam and move it to Como. After Robert and our team went in to look at this, our recommendation is to leave it there because, number one, our job is to make sure that fiscally we are being responsible with the money. Robert and them have chalked it up as a $1.3 million renovations that we need to take place at Como. We would have to wipe away the $1.5 million we just cut at central office. So again, this is what we are recommending. I hope that board members that you see that what we were trying to provide for our EJ Sam students, which we're having a lot of success there, is the same type of environment. We just don't want to throw them into Como and just say, go into these rooms. The success of what our kids are accomplishing over there is because they have their own way of going about getting their education. And to be able to provide that environment at Como, we're looking at additional 1.3. So I'm asking y'all to, first of all, until we see what happens financially with things, that we would let EJ Sam stay where it is for the 25-26 school year until further notice.
And one more part. So we need to mic Robert up, I think, for the meetings from now on, because he's getting his steps in. So whenever we were talking about the Career Center, right, we talked about expanding it because there's a huge wait list. So have we looked at the cost of redoing the Career Center at EJ Sam site?
So my experience there is great because I was at both of those schools at some point. So the Career Center does need to expand. Right now, EJ Sam is taking up, I think, 12 classrooms at the current Career Center site. I think with staffing and what's coming on, they're going to be able to consolidate down into 6 or 7 classrooms. So that's going to actually give the Career Center about 6 or 7 more classrooms next year. So they can start that expansion even with EJ Sam staying there.
Okay.
So it's going to work out.
Fantastic, thank you.
Mr. Hidalgo.
Yeah, I'm in support of this item, given the information that we've been given here tonight, but I do want to state, I'd be remiss if I didn't state that when the strategic plan came before us, the idea of moving this program would save us money. So now it's going to cost us money, and so I'm not in favor of that. But the main reason I wanted to take the floor is to encourage my fellow board members on the Long Range Planning Committee and all of my fellow board members to just keep in mind that of the strategic planning recommendations, we took basically, we could argue basically none of them or very little of them. And so I have watched testimony in some of our meetings and some committee meetings of folks coming up to the podium to speak. And it's interesting to me to see how they utilize the strategic planning recommendations for certain things, but totally forget about the totality of that plan of which we did not adopt. So I'm disappointed that we have to do this, but I understand why, and I'm okay with it. But it originally was going to save us money. So, I ask you guys to please consider that when someone comes up and says, well, that was the recommendation in the plan. Well, we really didn't adopt the plan. So we just need to quit talking about the plan, if you ask me.
Mr. Hidalgo, I'll say this, that I'm not going to say that our district optimization personnel did or did not do their jobs, but I can tell you that my team, when we went in to do what we needed to be able to do what you have asked us to do, they didn't consider some of these things, and that is why we are here to give you this option of bringing it back because of the cost. So nothing against what district optimization brought, but they didn't go in depth to what Mr. Gotro and his team did do to be able to give what experiences that need to take place as far as our kids at EJ Sam. And again, I want to reiterate, this program is set up to give our kids who have that last chance that they need to be saved. And we're seeing lots of success there. And I just don't want to, for the kids that are there, not to give them that experience.
Mr. Latson.
Mr. Lejeune.
How many students attend EJ Sam?
I think the last time I looked, it was about 120, 140.
And what's the graduation rate?
We do, and maybe Dr. Bobby would want to chime in, we do 2 graduations a year, but we also remember the 120, we do a morning session and an afternoon session, some stay all day. So it's just kind of, it could be the maximum of 120 on campus, or it could be 80. Dr. Bobby,
Yes, you're right, Ms. Gardner. So it really depends on the class and what they have. We've had classes of, I'd say, 15, 20. We've had classes as small as 8, 9, but they go year round. So it's basically a fall semester, spring semester, summer semester. And to Mr. Touchette's point earlier, it is a truly alternative site for students that just need something else or where the traditional setting has not worked. But I'm going to tell you right now, the ones that and we've expanded it to middle school to give those middle school students where we often lose kids that same option. The students that get in, they can not only catch up, but accelerate and graduate early. So some of the things that it's hard to kind of answer that question, they may be an early graduate as well as someone that's on time or even trying to catch up to their cohort.
So what's the earliest grade they can enter at, Sam?
6th, 7th grade.
Okay.
We just graduated 10 in the last graduation ceremony. Yep.
And Mr. Lejeune, for graduation rate purposes, as you and I know, you being a former principal, their rate it's not calculated the same as a traditional high school because again, students are coming at different times and they're moving at different levels.
Do they get a school performance score?
They do get a school performance on alternative accountability. Okay.
Madam Secretary, I'll call for the vote. And this is on all items that were not pulled. We're voting in global.
Nine for, none against. Motion carries.
Thank you. The only item pulled was pulled by Mr. Hidalgo. That was 3.6. That's finance, discussion or action concerning the 2024 annual comprehensive financial report. Mr. Hidalgo, I'll accept the motion here.
Mr. President, I simply pulled this item to give the board more time to discuss it. I know that we wanted to get to the meeting, so we kind of rushed through it, and I just wanted to give more opportunity for discussion and have a separate vote on the item.
So we have a motion. Well, we need a motion to discuss it.
Make a motion to discuss the report, please.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Mason, second by Ms. LeBou. The motion is, well, the recommended is that the board accepts the AFCR for fiscal year 2023-2024 as attached in the public content section of this agenda item. Any public comment concerning this? Any board member comment concerning this? The superintendent, please. Okay.
All right.
Mr. Badger.
Trying to figure out what I was gonna say here. So, I wish I could have talked for an hour earlier, but I'm glad y'all cut me off, because, that would have went on for a while. You know, when we got on the board, there was 5.5, because Jeremy was a little rusty, he hadn't been on the board for a few years, so 5.5 years. 5.5 new board members, right? So it's been a learning curve the last year, but from what I see, we've tested the notion of the status quo, and one of the things I hate to hear, especially from my accounting and auditing days and my times with Department of Health and Hospitals, was, well, that's just how we always done it, right? Like, I can't. That's a pet peeve. Like, oh, I hear that and I cringe. And when we go to change something, like, yes, change is tough, change is hard. But when you look at the numbers, you look at the amount of projects we did in the last year, and you look at the work that's been performed, the backlog of projects that have gotten cleared out, the amount of projects we've done, the amount of funds that we've released, to the fact that the operations team's saying, like, give us more. So it's disheartening for me to then start hearing that, like, oh, you violated public bid law, our attorney's telling us we haven't, and, public sentiment is a tough beast, and we want to make sure that we let the public know that we are trying to do the best we can with tax dollars. Like, we're not just handing out contracts to people like it's candy. We're making sure that we're getting the best bang for our buck, and it's reflective in the work in the schools. Schools are getting painted. We have storage buildings coming up. We just built a brand new covered covered pickup line at Myrtle Place. There's a lot of construction projects going on. So, I have my disagreements with the auditor, and I think moving forward that we need to continue doing the work that we're doing, and if we get the all clear from our attorney, then we keep rocking and rolling on the amount of projects that we're doing.
Mr. DeZarmo?
I just want to make a quick reference to what you said a while ago. I support our team 100%. I see the work in my schools, and I have no complaints. I don't know about all the legal stuff, but I know what I see: brick and mortar, paint, and improvements, and that's what it's going to take to stay competitive in education.
Ms. Mason?
Just wanted to lend my perspective from my first term to my second term. And then also even before that, when I was a parent at Woodvale, we heard we were getting this pavilion, and we waited and we waited and we waited. And one of the reasons I ran for school board was to see what was going on at the board level and see why we were told we were getting things, that the money was allocated, and then nothing was happening. So now that I'm in my second term, I'm very, very happy with the way that Robert Gautreaux has taken our facilities, and also I have to give credit to Francis Touchette, taken the entire concept and followed the law and made our money go farther, and found vendors that we haven't worked with before who can offer better prices. And I think that our public deserves that. I think that our children deserve that. Because if we're out building, the pavilion previously was like over $200,000. And somehow we built one for $80. I'm going off the top of my head.
Yours is 211.
211. And it took 4 years. So I'm very proud, and I will back up Francis Touchette. I appreciate our attorney for advising us. I will stand by all of these projects. Thank you.
Ms. LeBeau? We're on this side. We'll get to you gentlemen later. Ladies first.
Thank you, Mr. President. I do want to say that it is disheartening to see, go through the audit and see all of the very, very positive things that are reflected in how thick is the book? We're the highest rated board in the state. We have the highest bond rating of any board in the state. There's $500 million in our budget. And the article focused on $2 million, and they're they were theorizing that we were doing things based on interviews with former employees. They did not clarify who the former employees were, how long they were there, what division they worked in, if they even had any interaction with facilities. So I would just really ask that if you are going to put out articles, that maybe it's more pertinent for you to review the entire budget and also speak to current employees and school board members. And again, as to the auditor, a lot of that focus on aggregation that he talked about is not in the law. It's based on Attorney General opinions. Attorney General opinions, this is how it works. You write a letter saying, we have this issue, and you send it to the Attorney General, and they assign it to one of the attorneys that is there. The attorneys are obviously not the same year every year, but the attorney says, based on this situation, this is how we think you should handle it. They're not law, and they're only persuasive at best, and they're not based on this situation. They're just using it to analogize that they think, based on that letter and that situation, that's kind of how we should have acted in this instance. But it's not the law. It's just how they believe that it was interpreted by that one attorney in that specific situation. That was not Lafayette Parish. That was not the Lafayette Parish School Board. So, I think it really does, it's very disheartening that we work very hard. There's a lot of great things happening, and the media needs to focus on a $2 million theory that they think we did wrong that is based on discussions with potentially disgruntled ex-employees. So I really just want to commend our board. I want to commend Robert and his team. They're doing an outstanding job. I'm glad to see my board members fired up because we believe in what we're doing is right, and we believe in the projects. We believe in our staff, and we trust our staff. And so I really just want to commend y'all because the passion is coming out tonight, and because you know we're doing the right thing. So thank you very much.
Thank you. This side, who would like to go first? Mr. Lejeune, you go ahead, then Mr. Edmond, then Mr. Hidalgo. Thank you.
I'd like to, thank you, Mr. Lashley. All right. Of course, I'd like to talk a little bit about what's going on, the projects and stuff that are up there, and I'll go back to the time that I spent in the system, and I lived these projects to the point where when I was principal of Acadiana, I would just give up and just do it, raise the money and do it myself instead of the parish doing it, because it took so long to get done, we never got it done. So I want to congratulate Mr. Gautreaux, Mr. Touchette, and the team that he's assembled for the amount of projects that have been done since they've taken over. It's really amazing. You drive around town and you see all of the good things that are going on in the parish. And if I'll take a second, one of Mr. Gautreaux's valuable members, Mr. Josh Fontenot, please keep him and his family in your prayers. He was involved in an accident during the Mardi Gras holidays on the interstate, and so just they are recovering, but they are not back at work yet, right, Mr. Gautreaux? So please keep his family and Mr. Fontenot in your prayers. Thank you.
Mr. Edmond? Nothing? Okay, Mr. Hidalgo?
Now, Ms. LeBou, how fun would that be if they wrote the article based on the totality of the story? I'm not going to go through the kudos, even though you guys deserve it. I'm not an auditor. I'm not an attorney. I will never support us not following the law. But I am sick and tired of this. This is the way it's always been done stuff. We are saving money. If we were spending more money, I could understand an argument from the public. So let me tell you what used to happen. They used to send out bids to do paint jobs. And an architect would have to get involved for a paint job, ladies and gentlemen. To all of my friends that are architects, this is not a slight at you. You got to make a living. But this is nonsense. It's ridiculous. And so we have to streamline our processes. We have to do it within the bounds of the law. But who can argue over this stuff right here? Who can argue over the savings we've had? When people ask, well, where y'all getting the money to do that? And I say, well, some of this project and this project and this project, we did it for a third, a half of what it was originally bid out. How? Well, we're just using our brain. We're not circumventing the law. We're just trying to use the proper process that circumvents bureaucracy and red tape and handing out contracts. So I support that. I do not support us breaking the law. Again, I'm not an attorney. I'm not an auditor, but this is so common sense to me. So I ask our friends in the media, and they've been good to me, so I'm going to call them friends, to please write the story, but give us a little more about the story. We have plenty of information for you guys. Your story will be many, many pages long. We got it right here for you.
Any other board member comment? Ms. Strahan?
Just real quick, I would like to say thank you to Mr. Gautreaux and Superintendent Touchette, because recently, over the past few months, you all have worked with me and my schools in trying to look at projects that we need to find funding for and have efficiencies in the way we are maximizing our dollars. So thank you. And a special thanks to Josh Fontenot, who is not here, because he walked through Northside with me and the superintendent for right at about 4 hours. And so just as Mr. Lejeune said, please keep him and his family in your prayers. Thank you all.
Any other board comment? All right, I'm going to say what I got to say, and then I'm going straight to the vote. Any other board comment? Okay, it's my turn. There's a problem with a certain contractor who I fought tooth and nail to get a bid packet to. He'd never get a bid packet. Nobody'd ever give poor Butch Bergeron a bid packet. Well, there's a reason why. There used to be called, I'm going to say it, somebody big at the front page of the paper. There was a good old boy network around this place, and there was a big cash cow. Well, the good old boy network's gone, and the cash cow is gone. Okay? Well, Butch got the bid packet, and he bid, and it was a building that was the same size as the Northside Storage Building, 40 by 40. Look at it up there. $186,000. Butch got the bid for $45,000. $117 a square foot. Mr. Bergeron, you're going to have to tell me what 1,600 square foot and $45,000, what it comes out to a square foot. You can look at the Charles Burke Pavilion for $99,000. My principal at Burke at the time stayed on me for that. Thank you. And she got it. For $99,000, that's a 40 by 100. I mean, if you look at the if you look at any other one above it, 200, 300, and 100 and something $1,000. One was done by a quote with no architect, one with an architect and a quote, and one with an architect and a public bid. People, we were getting raped. Okay? The good old boy network is dead. Now there's going to be contractors, architects, and engineers mad at me. And I'm good with that. I have no problem. Now the kicker, the one that ought to make the front page of the newspaper is in, you want to call that rust colored? S.J. Montgomery? Just so y'all know, I don't need a new prescription. Miss Gardner, she cleaned my glasses, so I see much better this week. Thank you, ma'am. Architect and public bid in 2018. You would think that if you built something in 18 and you built it today, today would be way more expensive. $223,210. Mr. Gautreaux was kind enough to put together a quote of what it would be today, $49,000, and quoted what material cost in 2018, $30,000. We spent $190,000 more than we should have. Somebody's got to let that sink in, people. Somebody was getting rich off of us. We had architects they would not use. We had about 5 or 6 of them, they'd put them in a fishbowl, and they'd pull them. You get project 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You get project 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It was the same bunch. It was the same contractors. It was the same everything. Well, we kind of shook that up. And we're saving your money. We're trying to do a good job. We're facing the arrows, and that's fine. I asked to sit up here. And hell, I asked to sit in the middle seat. So just so you know, an audit is an audit. In the article that was written, I stated, I have no problem with the way we did it. Legal said it's fine. If I got to listen to an auditor or my attorney, I'm going to listen to my attorney. Robert Gautreaux did more projects in a year or a year and a half than was done combined. I'm in my 11th year, okay? The man rolled. He hit the ground running. That department, in my opinion, would give it to architects and everybody else. I don't know, and it's just my opinion. So it was less they had to do, okay? Everybody in that department has left. They can't live with the fast pace. We're running the ball a lot better than we were, but we're running a lot farther. Okay, and I always equate things to football. I mean, we're grounding and pounding right now. So look at the list. We'll leave it up there. There's copies if anybody wants it. If anybody in the media wants it, you know, contact Ms. Wirtz. She'll get it to you. But Robert, I'm not going to call you Mr. Gotro. Robert, as board president, you have my 100% support. I like what you're doing. I like what your department's doing. You keep doing it. You keep saving us money. Attorney says do it. Roll. Superintendent, you're doing a good job of what you did with that department and what you're doing with this school system. And I don't think we'll ever be praised for what we do, but I think none of us do this for the praise. We'll continue to get slammed for what we don't do, and that's okay, or what people think we don't do. But come spend a day in our department, in this system. I'm going to get Mr. Gotro to put it up maybe on the website. The list of projects that were done and how your children are in such better shape. And my last comment is, Mr. Gotro, we need to start bundling stuff. Correct? Yeah, guess what? Ms. Mason, Mr. Lejeune, what did we do? We bundled Judy's, Acadiana, and LJ Alamo. We got people up. They're nuts. Why'd you bundle them? Oh, you didn't get a piece of the pie. We bundled them. It's going to be more efficient. We're going to save money, and we're going to do it right. So you just tell me, what am I supposed to do? You know what we're going to do? We're not going to do it like we did it for 20 years. We're going to keep rolling. I think there's a song. We're going to keep that train rolling. What is it? I don't know what it's called. Me and the wife listen to it just about every day. But King George, y'all look it up. We're going to keep on rolling. This train's going to keep on rolling. Now, don't listen to all the words of it, but we're going to keep rolling because this train's rolling, okay? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm on a roll. And look. Huh? Yeah. But anyway.
Mr. President, $28.13 a square
Thank you. Thank you. Did you do that with a calculator in your brain? Okay, that's why I count on you. So look, I don't talk much in the meetings. You know, Mr. Hidalgo even told me you need to talk more. Why anybody would tell me, because I never met a microphone I didn't like people, trust me. I apologize if I got a little uppity in the first meeting, but enough, people, enough. We're doing way better. My 11 years on this board, we've accomplished so much. Have we made mistakes? Yes. Will we continue to make mistakes? Yes. But I guess that's the great thing about being term limited. I can say what I want to say. Madam Secretary, I'll call for the vote. While we're waiting for the vote, I know the superintendent wanted to say a little something. I know we spoke about Josh, but I know you want to say something.
Yeah. First of all, let me again say to Dr. Robley, to Robert Gotro and his entire team, again, you guys know what you do. You know what exactly is happening out there in the schools. And as the board has already indicated that, you know, look, you guys have our complete support. So thank you for what you do for our students. Thank you for what you do for our adults in those schools. And we're not going to waver, and we're going to continue doing. And guess what? Regardless of who is here or not here, we're going to do what we have to do. Thank you.
Wrong motion? Yeah, no, we need a recommended motion. We'll hold on a second. We need a recommended motion.
I accidentally said that.
I'll read it to you. The recommended action is that the board accepts the ACFR for fiscal year 2023-2024 as attached in the public content section of this agenda item.
Second.
Well, that's what I had read on the motion. It wasn't typed correctly. Yeah. Well, we're voting. No, it was pulled. We've already had discussion and everything. We're just waiting. There it is. Yep, that's it. Everybody vote.
8 for, 1 against. Motion carries.
Motion carries. That is the final agenda item. This meeting is adjourned. I don't agree with it either, but I mean, what we gonna